Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the original Loretta Brown Show, radio to open the heart, heal the soul, awaken the consciousness. Benny,
That was a
I
lot of
haven't
good
seen you.
mornings.
I know. I was trying to make up because I've been gone,
I kind of
right?
figured that for each day you've missed, you've added another one in there. I kind of
I
was counting them out.
might have missed a day or two. I'm not sure.
It's okay.
Yeah. I was gone, went to Egypt,
You were?
went to
How was it?
Jordan.
Wait.
Like an Egyptian, walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Only for our video listeners and watchers and viewers.
I love that song so much. It's just so fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
And yeah. We might just have to play the whole thing. I don't know. Have an Egypt party. It was great. A great group of people, really wonderful, sacred people, I'll say. And Egypt's always challenging. The energies are, I think we get tired. There's a big time change, and it was super hot. It was in the 90s. And the temples are amazing. Everybody had powerful experiences. We did a lot of special things for peace and harmony and putting goodness into the earth and connecting with our past life roots and all that kind of stuff. So it was quite the trip. Yeah.
Sounds amazing. And I followed you very closely and intently on Facebook on the line. So yeah, and you folks out there can do the same thing.
Yeah. And Jordan was amazing.
Yeah.
First time I'd been to Jordan, and wow, I fell in love with it, honestly. So no words for it at some level. So I'm just kind of putting a plug in there. I do have another Egypt trip planned for the October of 2024. It's already on the books. And so if you think you want to do some sacred traveling with Loretta, send me an email. Send it to reikioasis@gmail.com and I'll get information out to you already. And then be prepared, because I am putting together some other trips. And I don't know. I like traveling, Benny. I just like traveling and doing fun stuff with great groups of people.
Yeah, as you should. Just don't forget about us little people behind the scenes and travel with you, or you could always bring us in from where you're at.
Yeah.
We could do that next year. We could do it from Egypt, right? Could we do that?
Yeah. I think that would be super fun.
I mean, we have the internet. It's at our disposal. We might as well.
It is. Yeah, we might as well do it. I love it. So, so I'm glad you held the fort down here. And coming back to Seattle, I realized that at 4:30 it's pitch black.
Yeah, right. So I'm getting used to.
And I get up in the morning and I'm thinking, when is the sun coming up? When? So anyway, I hope everybody's doing great. I can't believe we're at the end of November and headed into December. And for those listening, like I said, I am Loretta Brown. I'm the owner of Reiki Oasis, located right here in the greater Seattle area. And you can find out more about me at reikioasis.com or schedule.reikioasis.com. I got all kinds of stuff coming up. And at the end of the year, I always have the end of the year despacho, which is our saying goodbye to 2023. What the heck was it about? And 2024 is going to be better. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, better. So I'm going to do some astrology check-in and probably clear my throat a few times. So here we are. Like I said, we've made it. We are headed into the last month of 2023, and it's time to close the chapter on another year. Hard to imagine that. No matter what has transpired for you this year, I hope you can be proud of your journey. I mean it. Sometimes we look back at our life and we go, oh man, I don't know about that choice, or I don't know about that. We're kind of hard on ourselves. And all I got to say is, you know what? You're here. So you made it. So hoo-hoo.
Being present, it's important.
That's right. Give yourself gold stars, and you made it through. And I don't know, love on yourself a little bit. So I hope you can feel love, nourishment, and support holding you through all that you've been through, and all that is to come. And you are never alone. I was in Egypt, and we go to this essential oil guy named Gamal, and he reads people's auras, and he says to me, he says, Loretta, he goes, you work really hard and you sometimes think you're all alone. He goes, there's so many that help you, so many.
Yeah.
And so I give that message to everybody. There are so many that help you, right? Seen and unseen. So as an overview of December, December is a nice, balanced month with a few powerful cosmic alignments mixed in with some gentler ones. That sounds good. Mercury will be retrograde from December 12th onwards, which means, you might feel a little scattered or forgetful or indecisive. So if you're doing shopping, get your shopping done early. If you're making plans, do it early, because December 12th onwards, like I said, Mercury retrograde. This energy also supports strong intuition, and it may even bring a boost to your psychic gifts. Both Neptune and Jupiter will station direct throughout the month, which will help to speed up the activity of the cosmic skies. And by the time we move into January, we will only have one major planet retrograde. So that means a lot of forward movement. And, this year we've had several months where we've had like all the planets and a few extra retrograde, like where'd they come from, right? So December also brings the solstice. It's a time of celebrating the light and the birth of the sun. And the month comes to an end with a sensitive and sweet Cancer full moon, taking us into almost like being cradled as we go into 2024. Aww. So I know. So it feels like a little bit of a better month. I also want to say this. We did move out of Scorpio. Goodbye, Scorpio, and hello, Sagittarius. Yay! Good old Sagittarius. And the energy of Sagittarius is a little bit softer, a little bit more fun, and actually wants us to have some fun. I think we've been working really, really hard. And just a little story. My daughter's a Sagittarian, and when she was a little girl, I asked her to pick up her toys. I says, honey, got to pick your toys up and put them away. Mm-hmm. She put her hands on her hip. Benny, she looked me straight in the eye and she said, I am not here to pick up my toys. I'm here to party.
But first, put your toys away first and then you can party.
That's right.
Okay.
So if you're a Sagittarian, I hope that resonates with you. And we do need to have some good times. So December begins with the Antares Stargate portal from December 2nd to 4th. Antares is known as one of the 4 royal stars. And during this time period, the sun conjuncts with Antares, activating its energy and beaming it straight into our beings. Antares is known as the heart of the Scorpion, and this energy can open our own hearts. We may be feeling more abundant and creative. We may be feeling more compassionate and supportive towards ourselves and our loved ones. In some cultures, Antares is considered the resting place for the souls after they depart their bodies and make their way to the afterlife. So it is under the energy of Antares that they can weigh up their regrets, their triumphs, their memories, and sort of do a life review. And we don't have to wait till we're on our way to the afterlife to do this. Don't do it. Don't do that. Take some time under the star portal to reflect on the course of your life. Is there someone you need to forgive? Is there someone you need to call? And how can you use this energy to bring yourself into a state of peace with all that has unfolded? Yeah. Yep. And that's that December 2nd through the 4th, which I think is Saturday. So on Monday, December 4th, Venus. I keep talking about Venus. Venus is doing a lot of stuff. Venus moves out of its ruling zodiac sign of Libra into deep transformational Scorpio, and love will run deep. Ooh. We may feel quick to fall in love or feel an intense surge of emotion for those we care about, which maybe we need it.
Right? It's also the holidays. There's a lot of loving, a lot of going on there, a lot of family, friends. Yeah, emotions are running a little high, so it makes sense.
All of a sudden I love you. So be a
Aw.
little careful. This is hot, steamy,
Ooh.
romantic energy.
Steamy.
Uh, so use it to your advantage, right? Careful,
I'm
careful,
all about
careful.
it. Woo.
The root of Venus in Scorpio is how we love ourselves and how safe and secure we feel in loving others. And, you know,
Getting
Mr.
hot
Benny
here.
and my audience, I'm going to tell you that loving is vulnerable. And
Yes.
if we've been hurt, we quite often close our hearts
Mhm.
and we go, never going to let that happen again. And a lot of people come to me and they go, Loretta, can you guarantee me that they will never break my heart? And I'm like, no, not really.
Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. But falling in love still remains
Yes.
one of the greatest human experiences. And, you know, so honor everything you've learned and loved and all that love has given you. And oh my goodness, just as I say, exhale and get ready for an absolutely fantastic month coming up. And I see that my guest is connecting.
Yeah, we're bringing him in right now, a little bit later
awesome.
than expected, but that's okay. Let's just get him set up there on the old Zoom action.
Yeah,
so.
We'll give him a minute or two to get set up. And while he's doing that, I'll talk about one more astrological thing.
All right.
On next Wednesday, December 6th, Neptune stations direct after being retrograde since the end of June. And Neptune is the planet of illusions, dreams, and wishes. And when it stations retrograde, we often get a wake-up call and a harsh awakening to the reality that is currently unfolding. We may find that as Neptune emerges from its retrograde journey, we're called to do away with outdated dreams and wishes. Illusions may come tumbling down, allowing us to see a greater truth, right? And if the wool has been pulled over your eyes about anything, you may begin to get moments of incredible clarity. Whenever Neptune is active in our cosmic skies, we also receive a surge of creative energy. And man, don't you think you could just use that? I mean, like, honestly, if you've been having a problem or you've been stuck in a project or you're like, wow, I just don't really know what the answer to that is. This is a really great time to evaluate if you need to rethink things, do things in a different way, or just become more creative with your answer. So
there you go.
I'm just going to check with Mr. Benny.
Yep.
Is Peter all ready to go?
Yeah, we're connected right there. And there he is. Bang.
Peter, I'm going to introduce you. I'm so excited you're on my show today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming. So my guest today is the amazing Peter Benson. He is the creator and CEO of Energies of Service, the inventor of healing tools that eliminate PTSD, emotional issues, heartbreak, clear entities, protect an individual, amplify healing sound frequencies. I'm really curious about this, and create calm. That's it. Peter has worked with thousands of people to clear them and dramatically shift their energy. He also works with first responders who use his chill pill technology. Could you just put that over the show today, Peter? Just that chill pill, which assists in trauma healing. And Peter has a background as a mechanic and a technician engineer. He went through a major awakening process that opened up his connection to his higher self, the angelic realm, his connection with the angelic realm. Guided by Archangel Michael and the Ascended Masters, Peter was introduced to Tensor technology and its healing properties. Peter, I cannot wait to talk to you. I can't wait. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you for having me on, Loretta. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. And yeah, that's a lot to talk about. It really is. It's been an interesting journey on understanding, and it's just amazing. It really is the path I have been on.
Well, I actually had your wife, Vivian Chavet, on my show a few months ago, and actually, you guys were getting ready to go to Egypt, and I know you missed the first part of the show. I just got back from 3 weeks, taking a group to Egypt, and I just kind of want to jump in there. I noticed when I looked at your pictures that the two of you were wearing your medallions, right? Your
Oh, yes.
technology. So I don't know where the best place is to step in. If you could just talk about your technology a little bit, what is it? What does it do? How did you get into it? I know that's a big question. Please just
Okay.
tell us everything.
Well, okay. We'll start from the beginning. So I can give people a kind of a background on where the
Yeah.
technology came from and where I started with it. So, the technology is based off of John Archibald Wheeler's discovery back in 1957. He was an engineer, scientist in the Manhattan Project. So, big shoes.
Oh,
Okay.
big
Uh,
shoes.
he so he found this stuff. He found this. They didn't have anything to do. They didn't know what to do with it. So they basically shelved the technology. It's in his books and stuff like that. So what happened was Slim Sperling in the early 90s discovered that when you take a ring and you weld it onto itself, all of a sudden now you have an energy field on one side is it's a positive energy field and a negative energy field on the other if it's one ring only, right? So he did a bunch of, he's a tinkerer. So Slim
Yeah.
Sperling was more of like, he was more like the handyman, the mechanic who knows what's going on, but he can tinker and he understands things. He had a friend of his was a physicist. So the two of them worked out all of this. Um, and what they found was is they took one wire, a nice long one, folded it over. So now you had one circuit going this way and this way. And then they twisted it and then they cut it to a specific length and then they brazed the wires back onto each other. So now that circuit is going in both directions. And it's actually something that's known to Native Americans and all this other stuff when they were making their hogans, their sweat lodges or their prayer buildings. That they do is they would take trees. The tree would have a positive and negative aspect to it. So at the root, I believe it's the negative going into ground and the positive would be going into the atmosphere. They would use the tree, they would lie it down, base to top, base to top, base to top, and it would create a positive energy field. It would vortex of energy.
Oh.
So they weren't making these by accident. They were making them very intentionally. So this type of energy and knowing that one piece of wire or one piece of wood would have a positive and negative energy side to it. So this is where they, got into it. So they twisted it clockwise for a positive aspect, raised it onto each other. And now they understood it's like, okay, it was energy. Then Slim was like, what if we started cutting it to like the length of the cubit that was used in the Great Pyramid? That's when power really started coming through.
Oh my.
So yeah, then they came in. So
Wow.
it's like, okay, so people started experimenting with the different, sacred cubits around the world. Solomon's cube at Teotihuacan down in Mexico. All these different lengths came in, and this is where the energy came from. So Slim's books, you can go in there and get a whole bunch of anecdotal evidence that he has from his clients and experiences and all that, which is extremely powerful. So this is where I was like, oh, this is cool. So Slim open sourced what he learned, everything he did. He open sourced it. He put it in his books and everything was there. So I picked this up and I was tinkering with it. And at the same time, I was going through let's say a family what do you call it? Rearrangement. Um, so I was going through
Restructuring. Yeah.
restructuring, family
Yeah. Yeah.
restructuring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the time I was reading books called, by Brian Weiss, Michael Newton, Life Between Lives, the Journey of the Soul. And then reading Dolores Cannon's books. So all the regression books and all the understanding of what's coming in from thousands and thousands of people. This is not just one person's makeup, this is a story they made up. No, this is thousands of people going into regression. And all of it seems to be very consistent across the board. You can take out the outliers a little bit, but it's just like very consistent what's real, what we're really a part of. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at Slim Sperling stuff and I'm looking at those books. I'm like, okay. And I'm going through this process and I was going through energy healings and sound baths and all this other stuff. And I was actually having an energy healing with this lady, Amber, and she actually did the Reiki session, the healing session. And then when we were done, we were talking about it. She's like, Metatron has a message for you. And I'm like, excuse me? Okay. So it's like he basically, she says, it's like, okay, Metatron wants you to make anklets. I'm like, anklets? Yeah. It's like, okay, hold on. And it's like, okay. And she's like, anklets, they have to be made from a tensor ring, which I've been doing. Okay, that's cool. I can do that. Has to have these 5 crystals. Okay, 5 crystals. That's great. I wrote them down. I'm like, okay, 2 of them I've never heard of before. And it has to be covered with a copper mesh. And it's like, when they're done, these are going to protect your energy from, protect your frequency from everything around you while we're going through these times. And it's just like, I know the wording's a little bit off, but it's about the same exact thing as what he was saying. So I'm like, okay. So I made them. And yes, it basically closes your energy torus. The anklets close your torus so that you're basically your energy torus, your donut field turns into a shield. It's really interesting.
Wow.
And the tensor ring they're made from is very grounding. So when you put them on, your feet feel like they're in the ground. Even if you're on the second floor, you feel like you're grounded. It's really kind of fun. So that's where everything started. So this is where the energy of the pendants initially came from, was the Archangel, Metatron. And then coming from here, and it's like going through that family reorganization. I kind of got distracted. It took a long process. I got scolded by some higher dimensional beings because, as you know, my wife is very connected to higher beings.
Yeah.
She had a experience one night, and 3 extra higher beings came in. She was in this, let's just say, open area. 3 women were standing in front of her on like these circles on the floor, and then there was 3 large portals on the floor behind them. And what Vivian said, it's like these beings that were, she's like 100 feet tall, came kind of like popping out of those holes behind, the portals behind those women, and those ETs were, or beings were, communicating through the 3 women in front of them to Vivian, and they basically said, it's like, tell Peter it's time to start making them. So I got kind of scolded because I got busy and everything got, life got in the way. And it's just like, no, this is more important than you and what you're going through. You have to make these. So it was one of those interesting things. It's like when I first started making the tensor rings, they didn't work. It took me a while because they're intention based. I had to focus my intentions well during creation.
Okay.
So the focus had to be there. So once I got to that stage, Metatron came in, then life got in the way. Then I had to start doing them again. So it's like, it's really interesting, the path.
That is fascinating. I love your story. Thank you for sharing it. It filled in some gaps for me instantly. And this idea, intention-based technology,
Yes,
I find
very
that
much.
fascinating. So it is your intention in the technology. And the question is, for me and the listener, what about our intention or our frequency level? I might not be using the right words here. When we like get the anklets, or we get one of the, do you call them medallions? One of the,
Yeah, the
yeah,
pendants, yes.
the pendants. Thank you.
So it's not necessarily my intentions of going into the tool.
Okay.
It's the way I understand these tools. They're the blueprint for them is etheric. So there's a blueprint for the tools. It's in the ether, and I'm basically drawing the inspiration, the energy from that design, in placing it into physical form. So my intention is just drawing off that blueprint. So it's a higher energy based on the tool. So I have to have clear energy while the creation process is there, so that the distortion, there's no, actually say though, so there is no distortion in creation. Once they're created, you put your intentions on them any way you see fit, and they are basically built with a primary job and role based on the original intention from the ether, the crystals that are involved with it, because the crystals tune them,
Oh, wow.
right? And
Yeah.
then from
Yeah. Yeah.
there they become entirely yours.
Oh, wow. I want to say they're alive. They interact with you. You interact with them.
They do.
They somehow, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like they sort of merge or become part of you or something.
Yes.
So give us an idea of these, of what they do. I mean, I rattled off a bunch of stuff at the beginning, but like, for instance, on your screen, for those that are watching on our YouTube channel, right? You have a picture of a pendant there. Which pendant is that?
That is the Archangel Michael.
Okay.
So Michael is, it has the shielding effect that Metatron initially brought in, but it also has turquoise, which is calming, selenite, which is clearing, and then green mica, which is a masculine form of like a like a rose quartz. So it's more of an energy balance or rebirth. I found that actually just that kind of description of it in UK last year. I was like, oh, was really amazing. It's kind of a rebirth stone from the heart. So we were looking at it going, okay, so if we have a masculine rebirth type of energy, it's like, okay, so we're bringing back the masculine energy to the heart. So the feminine has always been strong in the heart with the rose quartz and morganite. Now this, the green mica brings back the masculine heart, which gives us more balance. So instead of having the patriarchal type, structure, logic only, and forgetting the other half of us, this allows us to bring more of a balance. So when you put this pendant on, it gives you a very much more like a Michael stands right behind you, say hi, how you doing? You put it on and you feel like you're wearing a nice, a warm blanket. You feel safe, protected,
Wow.
and
I
it's
need to
very
get
calming.
I need to get all of them, but that one for sure. I love what you're saying. Do you happen to have any, because stories like I'm just going to ask this question. I don't even know if it's a appropriate question, but when because on your website you describe these pendants and you describe some of the things, and what you just said was beautiful. When somebody gets this and they put it on, do you have any like personal stories from people of what they've experienced? Okay.
A lot of
Yeah.
times we do. The most impactful ones, it's like Michael is actually one of the most beautiful pendants. It actually has four different glow colors in it. So it's got the blue, green, purple, and white. And when it glows with your energy. So it goes out in the sun. Yes, it'll glow, but will
Oh,
glow 24/7, and it glows brighter when you are more in your heart center. So Michael is everybody's favorite. But what we have is actually Archangel Shamuel, to know
ah,
yourself. And Shamuel was designed based on top of, I should say, the chill pill, because I had a therapist that was dealing with a lot of PTSD trauma patients up in Mount Shasta. So she ended up taking some the of the chill pills and was working with them with her clients. She goes, "These are amazing. You need something that's really designed for the trauma and the post-traumatic stress." So basically, I went into a direct kind of it's not even direct. I go into building process. So I'll go into the shop and I'll start making the Metatrons and the Michaels and the anklets. And the minute I start actually focusing on the build, and I get my mind, my ego gets out of the way, and I'm focusing strictly on build. That's when I get the channel.
oh,
I'll get more
wow.
messages, and I have a bunch of stuff coming because of that. I have as I'm going through stuff, I'll write them down. That's where the multidimensional came from. I'm use these three rings. I'm like, what? And I make a pendant out of these string rings, and it's like, what is this? I'm like, well, you'll figure it out. So yes. But the
Yeah.
Shamuel is so impactful for folks. It has all the crystals of a Michael. So you're gonna feel the energy, the shielding, the calming, clearing, and emotional healing. But it has 10 crystals specifically designed for stress release,
Oh,
not relief,
wow.
release, for trauma release. And it's going to protect you and allow you to be able to go through dream state without dealing with the trauma terrors and the night dreams, terror for, all that kind of stuff. And all the crystals are basically, if you can go through the crystal inventory online, and you'll see different crystals with that in there. And this is what we did. I had a list of, maybe 100 different crystals. I'm like, with all the different attributes. And as I was going through them, I was getting the message, nope, 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 yes, nope, nope, yes, nope. Yeah, it's like that's what we got. That's how Shamuel came into being.
Yeah.
And the most recent one would be when we were in Greece. There were two people. One specific, it was a young lady. She came up and she tried to Shamuel on, because I have people experience them, and we'll go through that here in just a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, experience the pendant, put it on, tell it to reset, connect to it, just go to full power and just feel it. And at that point, she literally just started crying. She could not stop weeping. And it was just a release. When you have these tools are extremely good at, let's like pull the finger out of the dike, right? It's just like it pulls the plug. If you have stuff that's right there on the surface that you're holding down, you put on a pendant, it's going to let it out immediately.
Oh,
Immediately.
okay.
There's no holding back, and you can't control it. You can't stop it. It's going to come out. It allows you to release, right? So that's what these do. So when you're wearing a chamois, what you do is you go through it. It keeps you very stable and calm, and it allows you to understand. It's like, I'm releasing. I'm like, yes. But you can also go, okay, with ease and grace, I'm in public right now. Let's just not do this right this very moment. Ease and grace. Let me get home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then you get home, it's like, okay, let's get this going. And then let it out. Because what'll happen is you go through your day, you get triggered by different things.
Yeah, you
And
do.
this is natural. So this is where the tools really come into their own power, and your thought control is imperative and very much very powerful. You talk to them, you tell them exactly what you want. So
Wow.
yeah.
This is, I don't know, I can feel it or intuit it or something, but this is a very important technology. The idea that it actually releases things, it brings things to the surface.
Yeah.
I'm kind of blown away by that, honestly. Right? Like I don't have any of your technology yet. At the end of the show, I'll buy it all. But um, yeah. So you have several different things. How does the person choose? Honestly.
Okay, so this is where we're going to go through what we had
Okay.
mentioned a moment ago. We're going to go through
Yeah.
this process that I explained when I'm at a conference and we're in front of people and people put them on. So what we're going to do is I'll shift here and I'll move that to here. Okay, so that's Shamuel.
That's
That's Archangel
beautiful.
Shamuel. There's 18 different crystals in it, and it's designed specifically for calming stress release trauma. But it's not the only reason. Believe me, there's a lot more to it. So what you want to do is you want to focus on that pendant. If you're listening to it on the radio, go to the website and you want to go through the process with each pendant. So this is how you understand which pendant is right for you. So you go to individual pendants. This one's going to be the Shamuel. You basically visualize yourself wearing the pendant, right? I like to tell a lot of people, it's like, okay, take your hand and put it right over your heart chakra, dead center, and feel the pendant hanging right there underneath your hand. Just connect to it, and you'll start to feel it.
Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to tell it to reset. So now you're going to tell the energetics of that pendant to reset, and it's going to clear any intentions or any energies that are on it.
Okay.
Now you want to tell it to go to full power. Tell it to show you what it can do. Go to full power.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. I can really feel it, Peter. Um,
Yes.
I really can. Like, I don't know if I'm going to cry or if I'm going to laugh, but something, and I feel very expansive, right? Like something just went whoosh like that.
Yes. The pendant will all the pendants are based off of the shielding technology. So it's
Yeah.
going to give you it's going to give you a barrier. Just visualize your body with the Vitruvian kind of the T pose, right? And we have layers of energy coming off of our physical being, which is the energetic side of us, which we don't normally recognize. So like you have skin, and then you have the emotional layer, and then layer and layer and layer and layer and layer on top of that. Outside of the main layers, you have this energy bubble now that the pendant is creating using your own energy. It's all frequencies. So there's your protection. You're not going to be bombarded by other people's emotional energy, which is really interesting. It's something you're not normally used to. You can do it through intention. You can actually do all of these things by intention, and you can. There's nothing stopping you from doing it. What's stopping us from doing that is the way of holding that intention in our mind 24/7. We lose our intention because it's like, oh, I stubbed my toe, or oh my God, that guy just cut me off on the road, or it's like, got to go grocery shopping, and you're dealing with 200 people's energy, and then you get overloaded and you're
Yeah.
distracted. So it's you go to work and
Yeah.
somebody just attacks you at work, and you're like, "Ah!" Okay, distracted, your shields are down. So what these do, these allow you to program yourself. So if once you get used to this particular pendant, you go in, you try this on the Metatron, the Michael, Shemuel, and multidimensional, and you feel them. Which one feels better to you? Everybody's different. I can't tell you which pendant is right. There is no right or wrong. It's which one works for you. So this is how these all work. And then from there, you just work with it.
Wow. Yeah, I totally can feel this one. And I do feel that closing of the torus. I mean, I really feel, I'm not sure I can put it into words. But
Yes.
I love it already. And I was also thinking about what you said. I'm a very sensitive person. And when I get around people, I've always gotten to this point where I'm like, okay, I'm overloaded now. I need to just go, sit in a cave or my closet or something for a while and just kind of, right. And especially because I do work with people all the time. Right. Oh, you shifted. Okay.
I shifted.
All right.
This one is Archangel Metatron. So we're going to give this one a real try. If you're really, really sensitive, this is like putting on energy armor. Metatron is
Yeah.
extremely powerful on the shielding. So do the same exact process. So go to the Metatron, and you connect, put your heart over your hand over your heart, feel it there, ask it to reset with a thought, and then tell it to go to full power. And you'll feel your energy field almost reinforce, or like you're putting on, for lack of a better term, middle ages like plate armor. It just feels like you're going boom, and you just feel like you just put on armor.
Yeah. Yeah. I oh, I love this one. I am kind of blown away at how different these energies are, and I can really feel them. I do hope people watching are doing this with us, and of course these shows are recorded. You can go back and listen, but I felt like what you just said, like all of a sudden armor went on, and then because Loretta's this creative girl, you got to look pretty. Then I threw some sort of almost a blue cloak over myself, beautiful color with a hood, like, now I'm protected.
Yeah. So, and that's what these do. It's like they give you, and the thing is, it gives you the energetic freedom to feel the way you want without being overloaded or pressured by other people's perceptions or the way that how they project their energy. It's like the one movie, and I haven't seen another movie like it, Celestine Prophecies, right? When the young man finally gets to that, the estate down in Peru, and he's walking around, she's guiding him through the gardens, and all of a sudden she sees the cute girl, and she's like, "Ooh!" And then the lady God's like, "Why don't you go over and talk to her?" And the next thing you know, the lady is watching the two, the young man, young woman, and she's watching their energy, and he starts pushing his energy over hers, and you actually see the two different color energies. So it gives you a kind of an idea of how the energies are interacting. That's the only movie I've ever seen that does this.
Yeah.
And it kind of, when you're putting a tool on like this, it's like, and you have something coming over you, it's just like, it's kind of like bouncing off your shield. It's like, I love it. Yeah, it gives you an idea of what it would be. Visualize somebody's energy overtaking yours if you're not protecting.
Yeah. I'm just making comments of my own experience here. I hope people are paying attention to themselves. But this idea that I am on the inside of this protected, and all of a sudden I am feeling or sensing everyone's energy is out there. This is really different.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to attend to their energy is what I'm saying. I don't have to attend to their feelings or their thoughts, or don't have to attend to it. Yeah.
Unless you choose to. So this is the next piece. So what you do is you actually take that intention and now that you're actually your field is closed down, so you're not being bombarded by everything around you. Now your vibration is coming, it's balancing into you. So now you're going to be resonating at your natural frequency. Now you just feel yourself. The next piece is through intention, reach out and touch an energy that you know.
Oh,
Your 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 mother, your partner, your daughter, your son, or your aunt, cat, dog. Just reach out and touch their energy, and you can feel them directly.
wow.
Depending on your sensitivity, you will get a quick glimpse of where they are, or you could get
Wow.
more of an energy. It's like, or it depends. Yeah, it depends on where you are in your path on your sensitivity, but you will get a glimpse. I do it all the time in conferences where I'm like, I'm protected and I'm looking at people. I'm like, I can see people, and it's like I don't normally get like a full view, but I'll get like you're kind of like happy, anxious, they're upset, or just a quick emotional snippet, because
Yeah.
I don't want to absorb their energy, because it's just like the shields are being stressed right now. 200 people around you, 300 people, 400 people. It's just like poke a hole through. It's like, nope, okay, okay, not having a good day.
Wow. No, this really works. I just did that, what you just said, and I actually checked on 3 people and I went, wow, instant. Oh, that, yeah. Wow. Um, I could probably talk a long time on that, but I'm just validating. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to have one more fun. We can
Uh,
go back to talking about other stuff. Okay. So this one here, I'm going to flip it over so that I actually see more copper. Here we go. That one is extremely powerful. This one is 3 tensor rings with basically the crystals of Archangel Michael in them. So these tensor rings are frequency based on the third eye, crown chakra, and star chakra.
oh, wow.
So
Okay.
this one is expanding your higher self. This is the multidimensional pendant.
Wow.
Yeah. So this one, when you actually connect to this one and open it up, you're going to feel a lot different. It's not going to be, it's not going to be protective per se. It's going to have the shield, but it's not going to be like putting on armor. This one's going to be like all of a sudden your crown opens. So we'll do that again. Going to put your hand on your chest, connect to it, reset, and then ask the multidimensional go to full power.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I feel like everything just expanded like
Yeah.
way up. And
Yeah.
apparently I have a lot to say, but I'm not going to do it right now. Peter, I don't know about wearing that one, you know.
Well, this is the one you want to do. It's like,
Oh,
this is the one you
wow.
do in meditation, or it's
Yeah.
like if you really enjoy, for those that go out into the woods, or going to your local botanical garden or whatnot and connect to nature. This is the one you would put on and you just go sit in nature, listen to the birds, listen to the trees, listen to the wind. You're listening to the elementals now, listening to the nature. And then the energy, and then your higher connection is allowed to really open up and feel. Meditate when you're doing meditations, this one's amazing. When you're going in a dream state, you'll be able to do more and control more by putting your intentions on it. This is
Yes.
not the daily driver, though. You don't want to wear this one to work. It's just like,
I thank you, because I was actually going to ask that question, like you would change these out, like you would wear this one when you're meditating or connecting to nature. um I don't know if you can explain why I feel like my throat chakra is so activated with this one, but maybe it has something to do with that higher connection. Who knows? Yeah.
well, we've actually seen that before. And the only understanding that I have of it is it's doing this with your upper chakras and just opening up. So I have a feeling it's starting to draw more energy through your throat chakra, because you're right here at your third eye. So
Yeah.
you're allowing the energy to flow through. So you're going to be able to communicate better when you're wearing it as well. So if you're doing, if you're even if you're working with people, healers can use this, right? So you're connecting to your higher self to work for the your clients highest good. Now you're going to have a clear channel to communicate. It'll allow you to actually, it's activating your that chakra. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I need that one too, Peter. Peter, do you sell like a set?
We have armor sets, but we don't have the pendant sets yet. Yes.
And
So
and you know, the holidays are coming, you know. I accept
yeah.
gifts, you know.
Yeah, we do have
People can buy these for gifts also. I'm just putting a plug in for you.
absolutely. No, we'll when we close out, I'll get you the information. We'll get you
Thank you.
the discount codes for you can put on the website and stuff. But we
Great.
are doing we're doing a promo for for the Christmas season and stuff like that. Absolutely. I don't participate on Black Friday because I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
It's just it's gotten a corruption of Christmas. I'm like, it's supposed to be a spirit of we're going through Thanksgiving, and then we have a Friday of greed. It's like, no, I don't agree with that. It's like,
Yeah. Wow. These are great.
thank you,
I love them. I love them all. I love it. You have, I can also see or sense you have a whole lot more of these coming. And
Yes. Actually,
wow.
let's try this. I want to see if you can feel this. This is actually,
Okay.
I want to move this. I'm gonna have to move the camera back again.
Okay.
And here, this is actually going to be
Oh.
going inside of a Michael, inside of here,
Oh.
right? And what that is, that's not where it's not going to be plastic. What I'm doing with this is actually I'm creating molds in ceramic so that I can put the copper pieces in it and keep them properly aligned so that I can weld them together. Um, but it's going to be copper going down the middle. We're going to lose the middle ring in the Michael, and it's going to get a couple extra crystals. This is an entity protection pendant.
Oh, wow.
This
Okay.
creates almost like a source golden light shield of protection from entities to the point where if you don't clear yourself when you're putting it on, the entity is going to be stuck inside of you in your
Oh.
field. And this has happened before to a friend of ours who actually designed this pendant with a friend of his who was a shaman who passed away a few years ago. This was developed over many years of practice, trial and error with my friend Thomas and the shaman, and they finally perfected it. And this is the design to it, and it's actually very specific. And you have to be very, very conscious of using this tool because yes, if you'll trap an entity and it'll protect you from them. So those are the primaries, right? But the secondary aspect of it is it's going to create almost like you as a lighthouse for the souls that are lost
Yeah.
or stuck,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to actually open up a portal to the higher realms so that they can go home,
Oh,
so they can
wow.
pass on. So
Wow.
yeah,
I've got rolling goosebumps. Rolling.
yes, and
Yeah.
just that pendant's not going to be for everybody
No.
because it's going to draw entities to you. Right. It's not going to be the benevolent ones that are going to be drawn to you. Then once you're wearing it, the benevolents don't want to have anything to do with you. They're going to be, it's like, cockroaches when you turn the light on, they scatter. You're going to be walking around as this glowing light beacon, and you're going to be drawing in souls that need help. So you open a portal, you send them home. And that's the thing. It's like when you take it off, you shower or do whatever you're doing, not a problem. Before you put it back on, do the clearing, you put the pendant back on.
Yeah.
So this is an extremely powerful tool that's coming.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm working on the ceramic molds right now so I can do the replication of the process to make it precise. And this is where I've been stuck on this one for a little bit because it's kind of complicated. The
Yeah.
manufacturing process is a pain in the butt, but it's going to be, we've had a couple, what do you call it, prototypes out there, and people absolutely love it. It's super powerful for those that are sensitive and those that have actually had entity problems.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And I think there's been a lot of that out there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's coming.
Wow. Okay. So we're running out of time already, right? It's ridiculous. I want to talk about all the rest of them. But before, I want to make sure that we have time to cover, like, where can people find you? You mentioned something about discounts. Let's throw that in before we run out of time and make sure we've covered that. Yeah.
The website is energiesofservice.com. Energies with an IES of service.com on there. And what we'll do is we can do, let me do this real quick. So you can find all that stuff there. We're on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. My Instagram is not that super crazy. So I'm doing that. It's like I don't do a lot of social media. So it's kind of, see what we have.
I'm kind of with you on that, Peter. I put things up because I feel like I have to, but it's not good. It's not stellar.
Yeah. Yes. No, it's just one of those things. It's like it's kind of one of those processes that we need to do to connect to people, but it's just like I don't have the time to really get involved or do anything with it. Okay. So I just created a coupon code for you. The coupon code is Loretta.
Wonderful.
So anybody that was listening to this or, listen to it afterwards or on the radio or the video, just go to energiesofservice.com and go through there and it'll give you a 10% discount on everything. So it doesn't matter what you're getting. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 10, it's going to be a 10% across the board.
Yippee. I love that. So the coupon code is Loretta. Yes. I love it. Okay. And you'll get 10% off anything.
Yes.
So I am, for some reason, hearing sound. These are frequency. I don't know how to answer this question. These are they emit frequencies, or they're frequencies. What? I mean, I understand the crystals have different frequencies, but I'm literally hearing sound and seeing color. Okay. All right.
Yes. So the different tensor rings create different energy fields. So the one Slim Sperling originally found with it's from the actual Great Pyramid of Giza, and that's the qubit link from that. And what they found is, and they tested this at multiple laboratories, real laboratories. Slim and his friend did, and one of them was a Lockheed Martin laboratory. Another one was in Germany, and they found that the sacred qubit that they were utilizing from the Great Pyramid of Giza actually resonated at 144 megahertz. It's a resonant frequency of hydrogen, and through all the testing and anecdotal evidence, it actually heals the physical body. So we have a bunch of different tensor rings that we do utilize. The Michael, Metatron, and Shamuel, the big ring on the outside is the lost qubit, which is emotional. So that one works on the emotional field. So your heart, higher heart, emotional field, etheric body. And it's actually been known to do DNA repair. So any of the things that we've been going through lately with, let's just say some flu symptoms and stuff like that do damage. Yes, this may be very beneficial with the lost qubit independence in this form.
Because that's Shamuel. Shamuel.
No, that's all of them. That's Michael.
Oh, that's all of them.
And Shamuel. They have the lost qubit. That's DNA repair in all those pendants.
Got it. Okay.
The crystals inside is what changes the way it feels. So when you put on the Metatron, it felt like armor. That's because the crystals are very much stronger in that form. Shamuel has those crystals plus 13 more, and that's why you have a smaller crystal. So it's not as like putting on like plate armor. It is like putting on an energy shield, but it's not as strong. It's the larger the crystal, the more power it gives you. And now the Michael actually has the same stuff, but it's also a little bit smaller to fit in the turquoise, green mica, and selenite. So that's what you get there. And the colors you're getting are the different frequencies coming off of these rings. Let's just say that there is actually a tensor ring that we have, and it's called Solomon's Qubit. And it resonates at 333 megahertz, and it actually changes the color of sound.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. I'll show you.
Oh.
This is a small resonant version of it, and it's right there.
It changes the color of sound. I think that's what I was hearing. Wow.
Yes, it changes the color of sound. That's
Okay.
the understanding by the community that's actually been this came out too. So what's really fun with this particular one is if you make them larger, like let's say 10 inches around, 12 inches around, now you could put these underneath your crystal bowls. Oh yes. Let me
Okay.
cover a little story real quick here.
Super quick. We got like 10 seconds. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to a sound bath. I gave 4 of those rings to the lady. She texted me back 2 days later. She wanted 10 more because she has the higher
Okay.
heart
Yeah.
and it changed the frequency and all that.
And
Yes.
Peter, I want to thank you so much for being on my show. I'm sorry we have to end it. It went by way too fast. Everybody go to energiesofservice.com. Shop for these amazing products. Be sure to put the coupon code of Loretta in and get a 10% discount. Oh my God, Peter, so much love to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of this wonderful stuff. And I can't wait to see what else comes out, and give Vivian my love. Thank you.